Lucid have revealed a car that this is for me the most appealing car that Lucid have ever revealed. I would love to own one of these. And honestly, I think it's almost the ultimate family car. I've heard there is rumors, Lucid have said they plan on making them in right-hand drive for markets outside of the United States. This could This could be good for Lucid. They're struggling for sales in the US. I don't know why they're not doing this already. So, could this be sold in the UK, Japan, Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, many of the countries where cars are made in right-hand drive? Potentially, of course, at the start at least, this is going to be a US only left-hand drive special. But here are the details of the new Lucid Gravity, the Gravity X. This is pretty damn advanced mid-size electric SUV. And yeah, it's apparently coming very soon. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. And if you'd like to become a YouTube member, that'll be awesome and it helps support me. I'll put a link in the description below. The 2026 Lucid Gravity X concept has been revealed at Pebble Beach. And I don't believe this is a concept. This is actually a real car. It's just at this point in time, you can't buy one yet, but you will be able to soon. And we have the details on the prices, etc. Unwrapped just as Lucid is preparing to upgrade its European presence in the next few weeks, the new Lucid Gravity X concept is described as the EV Pioneer's first ever trail-ready SUV. I think this is the car they should have made from the very beginning instead of a sedan. But anyhow, compared to the regular mid-size Gravity SUV, it has a wider track, raised suspension, and a set of stronger off-road rims wrapped in all-terrain tires. Rugged front and rear bash plates, underbody armor, and a set of new tow hooks at each end are, I think, a good addition. This car looks good. I think it looks better than the standard model, a lot better actually. It also has an aerodynamically optimized roof rack. If you can aerodynamically optimize a roof rack, well, I guess you kind of can, but yeah. LED auxiliary lamps, it gets two, and a pair of bonnet-mounted graphics featuring topological maps of both Big Sur and Death Valley. Also state that this is meant to be a legit off-road vehicle. I should also mention that just by virtue of the fact that it's electric, it will automatically have an advantage over internal combustion because electric motors are just much better for off-roading. Anyhow, Lucid is primed to offer its take on Land Rover's terrain response system that will pre-arm the all-wheel drive for what is happening. So it's working hard on getting its terrain response system to be legitimately good for off-road. Now, Lucid have already confirmed that the Air Limousine, or the Lucid Air sedan, it will begin being sold in the European region from next month, and the US car brand's bosses say the Gravity will arrive in the first few months of 2026 in Europe. More relevant though to us here in Australia, it's been hotly tipped, says EV Central, that right-hand drive production will be announced later this year. That could see the Gravity launch in the UK market around the second half of 2026, paving the way for its arrival in our market. And I mean, that'd be great. Could be difficult though to compete against all these new Chinese brands that have come to Australia. That said, there's nothing like this on the market here in Australia, so it would be probably in a niche all to itself. Currently, the Lucid Gravity is one of the most advanced electric cars available in the US market, but not just in the US market, to be honest, worldwide as well. It has an 800 volt architecture. In fact, not even 800 volt, it's actually 926 volt electric architecture. And it has a massive battery. It's a 123 kilowatt hour battery. Bizarrely, exactly the same size as the battery in the Tesla Cybertruck. So, it can charge the battery at speeds of around 400 kilowatt. That's pretty decent fast charging. That means you can well, Lucid says you can add 322 kilometers or 200 miles of range in less than 11 minutes. Now, if you took this car to China, I'm sure you could charge it even faster than that because they have tons of really fast chargers over there. The top of the range Grand Touring model from Lucid comes with a dual motor powertrain that pumps out 617 kilowatt. That's 827 horsepower and 1,232 newton meters of torque. That's 909 pound-feet, which means it can do 0 to 60 miles an hour or 0 to 97 kilometers an hour in around 2 seconds. It's crazy fast. Now, what about the Lucid Gravity? How much range does it get? Well, from that massive battery, it has a range of 450 miles EPA. That's 724 kilometers. Yeah, I mean, range anxiety, 724 kilometers. That's probably going to work out to be about 850 kilometers WLTP. It would be unquestionably the longest range electric SUV on the market in Australia if it did come to our market. Now, of course, the off-road version is going to get a little bit less range than 450 miles because, well, it's got bigger tires, wider track, it's less aerodynamic, it's got roof racks. It's probably going to end up getting closer to maybe 380 miles EPA, maybe 400, around there. Still though, it's still a lot of range, yeah. In addition, it can comfortably fit 7 passengers. It is faster than the average sports car, and Lucid promises the new X will take the electric family hauler to a new level. Whatever that means, I don't know, but I do think that they're onto something here. Now, I should mention that this is based on the Lucid Gravity Grand Touring. So it gets the same motors as what I just mentioned, the Lucid Gravity Grand Touring. It gets that 617 kilowatt, which is 827 horsepower, and 1,232 newton meters of torque. So yeah, this car can do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds. So for a car this size, 3.5 seconds, that's crazy fast. Now, in addition to the other things I mentioned before, it also gets higher ground clearance, improved approach and departure angles, off-road tires, protective skid plates, and tow hooks as well. In addition, as you can see, apparently I think you can get it with this stuff. It comes with integrated LED lights, a roof box, astral drift satin paint, if that's your thing, and topographical. And on the inside, it gets premium leather seats, high performance floor mats, and a micro suede steering wheel. So this is a potential rival to Rivian's off-road focused R1S California June Edition. Kind of a similar market they're both going after. Now, let's compare this to the new Model Y L, the new Tesla Model Y L, which is actually kind of a similar size, not that different. Of course, the Model Y L is not intended as an off-road car, so this is just a bit of fun. It's not really a perfect comparison, but I think it's interesting, particularly because the Model Y L will be on sale worldwide as well. Anyhow, dimensions, the Model Y L is 196 inches long. That's 4,976 millimeters. And it's at 1,920 millimeters wide, which is 75.6 inches. Its height is 1,668 millimeters or 65.7 inches. And its wheelbase is 119.7 inches, which is 3,040 millimeters. It weighs only 2,088 kilos, which is 4,600 pounds. It's the lightest weight 6-seat electric SUV on the planet. Now, really interesting comparison here because the Lucid Gravity actually is significantly bigger, not in length, but in overall dimensions. It's 5,035 millimeters long, 198.3 inches. So it's about 2.4 inches longer than the stretched Model Y. It's quite a bit wider as well. In fact, quite a bit wider. It's 2,039 millimeters wide. That's 80.3 inches. Meaning it is around 4 inches wider. Height, it's higher as well at 69 inches high. That's 1,753 millimeters, but it's also quite a lot heavier. It's 2,450 kilograms, which is 5,400 pounds. And that's quite a difference. Nearly 400 kilograms heavier. But I think actually the weight of the Lucid Gravity is pretty good for the size of vehicle that it is. What about range? Well, the Model Y L gets probably around about 340 miles of EPA range. That's about 550 kilometers. That's EPA. WLTP gets 600 kilometers. Lucid Gravity is going to get probably around about the Gravity off-road version, around 400 miles of EPA range. So it's going to get about probably 60 miles more range, probably about an extra 100 kilometers. So it has more range. It has a massive battery pack. And it's, I think clearly the nicer car overall. But you're going to pay for it, yeah? The Model Y L is going to cost approximately 53,000 US dollars in America. In Australia, around 74,400 approximately. And 55,000 pounds, we think, 51,000 euros. Lucid Gravity is wildly different in price. It starts at 79,900 US dollars. So it's about 17,000 US dollars more expensive. That equates to about 122,000 Australian dollars, 89,000 pounds, and 98,000 euros. Most likely, considering all the taxes and things you've got to weigh into stuff, right? So, which one is more compelling? Well, of course, they're completely different use cases, but it is sort of interesting to compare them. Now, I think Lucid is targeting premium buyers seeking luxury and performance, even though this is marketed as an off-road car, and I guess it is. I don't think they're really going after off-roaders. I don't think any serious off-roaders are going to go and spend $80,000 on a Lucid Gravity touring off-road car, right? It's not really realistic. But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great car, but I think they're going more after the luxury of, the guys, people who sort of do a little bit of posing in my off-road car, don't do a whole lot of off-roading. It's more for the looks. Let's be real. I mean, hundreds of thousands of soccer mums, of, housewives, mothers that probably, don't do any off-road driving. They drive Land Cruisers, right? They drive them every day. Crazy. So, yeah, it's a big thing. Anyhow, what are your thoughts, guys, on the Lucid Gravity? Ultimately, I think it's a great car. In fact, I'd love one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.